We are live. Oh my goodness, let me connect that real quick. Let me connect, connect, and get everybody situated. I'm sorry, I am so unprepared today. Hold on. Let me get this over here. So, live. Let me see. Now, I hope you guys are doing good. Hold on one second. I'm trying to. Oh, we are live. All right. Let's see. I'll connect this down this way. No, I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it because that's what I will do. No, I will not. My necklace is out. All right, what's up, everybody? If you guys are on, I am still. All right, what's up, everybody? Oh wait, let me. If you guys are on, I am still. All right, what's up, everybody? Let me turn the volume down on this because it's lagging over here. All right. That way I can see you guys' comments and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things I want to talk about and stuff. But first things first. There we go. What we got on? I am connected. All right. John got a hold of me yesterday, and apparently he is building a short course truck too in 1/8 scale fashion, which is actually pretty cool. So you need to see where you can get the body at. I got it on Amazon. Let's see if Kurt's on here. Oh, I know what I needed to do. I needed to shave this. I need to cut this. I have some scissors here somewhere. All right, if you guys are in the chat, let me know. Let me know if you guys are in the chat. I'm just trying to get some stuff situated here and there, and you will see. You know what it is, Kurt? because I am so unorganized today. All right, should be good. Should be good. This mic needed charging, but oh well. All right. Kurt, if you could do me a favor, share it on the group page if you don't mind. I'm probably gonna make you an admin. Share it on the group page, uh, if you don't mind. The live, if you if you don't mind doing that for me, please. I am trying to. So what I'm trying to do right now with the short course truck is get the not necessarily in the mud guards. Well, yeah, the mud guards itself situated, but I'm trying not to bind up my cables at the same time. So John is building himself a short course truck, or I should say it's already built already. As I said, he'll probably chime in here in a little bit because he's probably working on his stuff. And I hope you guys had a very nice Christmas. Going into that new year, I've seen a lot of people are getting their last races in before the you know. What's up, Eme622? What you up to? Nothing much. Working on the short course truck, and I wanted to get I wanted to get onto a topic today. Apparently, the person I'm trying to get a hold of doesn't want to answer his call. So, um, if you guys have not seen, I am the Dialed RC team manager for our region here for the Dialed RC tires. Right, that would be for these guys right here. These are the V1s, and I got the V7s here, and I just dropped some tires. But I got the V7s here, and I represent Dialed RC, the owner being Gene Hickerson. And I had to give a call to Chad yesterday, and I'm like, hey, um, are we the ones that are looking for the drivers? So, and he was like, yes. I was like, all right, cool. So, and then I'll direct it towards Gene, who is the owner of Dialed RC, and then he'll accept my request. You know, being that me using my better judgment. So that's how that will work. So I reached out to this person again yesterday. I did make a video about it a while ago on my personal page, but apparently, I would say this person kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say he got butt hurt. He was like, he told me that he uh he was wondering why they got picked and not him or whatever, however it was, and I was like, dude, it's not about who I pick, and I don't have to pick one person. I can pick as many as I want or choose as many as I want. And I guess he took offense to me choosing this family of four. So again, I want to welcome the Chambers family, Michael Sr., Ashley, Mike Jr., and Matthew. And I've raced with all of them in Mini Z, and had my experience racing with them in 8 scale. I love racing against Michael Jr. He's one of my favorite drivers to race with because he's very hard charging. He reminds me of my son. And I tell you what, these kids, like I said, are getting fast. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that future. But what better deserving than this family to put them on a sponsorship to help them out? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the sponsorship is not all about getting the discounts. And don't get me wrong, that is a big plus. But at the same time, um, are they into the hobby? Or do they are they would they support the name of the brand, so on and so forth? Can they be the ambassadors? So and I looked at them and I thought about it, and I've talked to Mike and Ashley before. Talking with Michael when I went to go pick up a car from him a while ago, and him and his family. And I'll tell you what, these guys work as a unit.
And that's what I look for. That's what I strive for. They work as a unit. They support each other. Um, yeah, they give that support to each other, and they race very very well. I've raced against Ashley um, in Mini Z, and she's one of those strong females that race really hard. To include Laurel, so yeah, they're hard to compete with at times sometimes, and they'll give us guys like myself, Jeff, Randy, and Michael himself, they'll give us a hard time. So, again, just like their kids, the females are a force to be reckoned with. And I give a lot of respect to that as far as in the racing aspect of things. And they support their family in doing so. So I got my family. My family supports me a lot. I have my fiance, she supports me in everything I do, to include my son, and I support him as well, to include Charles, my other son, who's not here right now. But when he's here, again, he's another force to be reckoned with. So I look at them, I look at the Chambers family, and I looked at how I am with my family and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, trying to support a race program with four people under your belt, or three people under your belt, or I should say four people to include yourself, that gets, it gets heavy. It gets very very heavy. So again, I looked at them as a unit. Gene accepted them. Apparently, I got Chad's approval on there as well too. So that's the route that I went. Now, with me posting their little family picture and then told them that they're the 2026 team drivers, that was solely my choice, approved by Gene, and yeah, yeah, you know. So dude, Kurt, you're over here playing. You're playing with drift cars that are high end. Dude, get you an 8 scale. Get you an 8 scale. We'll talk. I guarantee you. I used to be that guy that hated these things. I'll tell you right now. I was that guy, and I had a lot of push from over here in Springs, Swervin and Big Rich, Robbie, or even Tom, Robbie, you need to come out do some 8 scale. Zach Elred as well too. Robbie, you need to come out do some 8 scale with us. You need to race with us. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. I was on board with Corey, and I was like, no, nah, I don't want to deal with the mess and this, and that. And like I said in my previous videos, I don't mind the cleaning. I really don't mind the cleaning. I love getting my vehicles back to where that showroom quality is, and that way I can look for anything that has messed up. And I solely enjoy it. Now, do I enjoy the aftermath of racing on that day? No, no. Hot, sweaty, you got the blowers that are blowing dust all over you when they're blowing off the track. Depending if you're downwind or whatever, it gets horrible, right? Justin, myself, and James, we can account for that, and Rafi, we can account for that. Like our vehicles were more dirty because of the track being blown off over at Sumter than anything else. But again, back to the sponsorship thing. Again, I chose this family. That was solely my choice. I saw them as a unit, and I see them going forward in the future. All right. Yeah, exactly. A heavy brush, a air compressor, and some simple green. Um, you know what the secret is? End dust. Furniture cleaner, the furniture polish. That is like a big hidden secret. So all my vehicles smell lemony fresh. So again, that's funny. I was using that. I was like, hey, this would work. I used this before on other platforms, and then somebody's like, Robbie, I use Indust. I'm like, no kidding. I use the same thing too. I think that I was talking to John on that. It was the most funniest thing ever. Uh, Dealing with that. All right, I got that in. So you guys are wondering what the hell am I doing? I am putting um, guards on. So I had these little Lexan ones, but they were too flimsy, and I needed something to connect to the chassis. That way, my vehicle doesn't parachute in the air, and it shouldn't via the body because the body has the windows cut out and the windshield cut out, so it shouldn't parachute. Watching Tail drive his, that thing drove like it was on rails when I saw him drive it. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, I got Kurt on here. Who else is on here? If you guys are on the chat, if you guys are on the chat, comment. Anybody besides Ime and Kurt? If anybody's on the chat, um, give a shout out if you don't mind. And Kurt, like I said, if you don't mind sharing the if you don't mind sharing the page or the live on there. I don't have all the computer equipment and stuff like that, so that's another thing I still want to talk about as well too. Again, with the sponsorships, I had this person. They told me that they've been racing in such a long time. They shouldn't get it, or I wouldn't say they said that they shouldn't get it, but I should have been paid, or so on and so forth. I don't know. It's just at this point, I got to the point where I like, what the hell is going on? And what's up, JC? Uh, it was just it was hard because I've tried helping out this person before, and it keeps on getting the backlash of it. And I'm just like, all right, let me try one more time. And I did that the other day, and it came down like, Robbie, I don't know computers. I'm like, dude, if you can type on your phone, you can do this. It's not hard. Um, I just want to see what your credentials are and stuff like that. As I talked to Chad, who's another regional manager, I just want to make sure everything was kosher and doing what I needed to do. Oh, it randomized your name. What's up, John? Hey, I'm redoing. I had to build a bumper for my short course truck because the body flex on it, and I don't know about the cage and stuff like that. So, but I am building. I'm scratch building my guards right here. Well, I already did for. This was originally for my truggy, and I'm gonna work it on my short course truck. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then, like I told you yesterday, John, I'm using a 15 tooth pinion on a 2200 motor. So this is a 2200 motor. Again, this is the short course truck. For those that are watching that don't know, this is a short course truck that Techno never made. John just made his, and Tell had made his, and we all three of us are using Technos. I got a feeling Matt's going to be making one as well, and I know Big Rich will be doing a low C version of this because he has everything he needs to do so. I hope Tom Prindle jumps on this as well too because he is a big short course fan. So he doesn't race the 10 scale, but he does race the 5th scale, and he does race buggy and truggy. But he should have kept his vehicles because he would have had a short course already. But yeah, for the EB410, yes, yes. I am using EB410 front and rear bumpers, and I am using the body mounts from the EB410. That's pretty much what I'm using. Again, uh, I don't know if you when you get your chassis. I built my own brace there, but use the Truggy chassis brace right there, and then you'll need the long shaft right there to go extend. I'm sure you know that already, John. So, but yeah, that's because I tore apart this buggy, the one that I got from Matt Warford. It was a 2.1, and I'm like, man, I really didn't want to. And then Zeke posted his buggy for sale, and I was like, I had to jump on it, and that's sitting right here. So that is Zeke Belt. That is the ZB special right there. That is currently Isaiah's, and I'm gonna tell you right now, yep, this boy, he was driving faster with this than I was with Truggy, or if not, he was pulling away from me because I trailed right behind him. And once I get his nerves calmed down and having him stay more consistent than rather than getting too excited, because that's what happens with Isaiah. He'll have it, and then he gets too excited, and it gets thrown away. So I'm going to try to calm his nerves down as he's driving. Try not to get him overly excited. Try not to pressure him too much. Just make sure he's having fun, and he always does well when he does that. So yeah. 8 scale. So here in Colorado, we have Faster Laps, which is over at Ram. So that's owned by Matt Kyle in conjunction with Ram. Um, he kind of has that portion of the land that belongs to him. So that is the track. And then we have Graham Hill with LRC. That's all the way up north. I want to say that's up next to the Union Reservoir. So that's a little bit outside. It's no, it's not a little bit. It's outside of Denver, I should say, and it's off to the left hand side. and Graham Hill. He's my team manager for Techno. So I'll be meeting up with him and then seeing what the schedule is for that. And then series wise or seasonal wise, I should say, we have TNR. We got TNR that comes down here. That'll be down here in Black Forest, which is in between here and I want to say Castle Rock. It's more in that in between. Um, and it's out there at some horse place or horse racing place, some barrel racing facility. It is an indoor facility, which is actually pretty cool. And I want to say TNR does host 2 or 3 races out of the year here. So I know they got the the March one. I know they got the November one. I'm not sure if there's one in the middle, so I'm not sure on that. So yeah. Okay, yeah. So LRC is in Thornton, as John said. You go to okay, yeah. So again, the one down here in Springs is owned by Matt. So if you go, you already know TNR, you already know LRC. The other one is down here over Alpha 94, going towards Ellicott, and that's where it is. Or if you guys are familiar with Dragon Man, the most heavily armed civilian in the U.S., yeah, it's around that area. If you guys don't know, so that's not bad. We get a decent turnout. We get a decent turnout. Matt does throw his big races here and there, so responding to responding to email there. So yeah, come check it out. I hear the fast guys are over at LRC, so I got to make my way up there and then so I can be humbled. I'm not fast. I'm not fast by any means, but you do get better racing with uh, fast drivers. No different from here in Colorado Springs. I learned a lot from the drivers here. Um, I think I I feed off of John a lot. John will tell you I'm always chasing him. So we race a lot of genres together, and there'll be days that I'll win, and majority of the days he will win. So there's a lot of times, and I learn a lot off of John, um, his driving characteristics. And John will take nothing and make it something, right? Rather than somebody having something and not really having nothing to show for. So uh, John is one of those drivers that drives a needle through the or drives thread through the needle. So just like Corey, George and I we learn off of that. George is one of my teammates, and we learn off of that because like holy crap, we see that line and stuff like that. And I learned that a lot in Mini Z, and it's cool that what I've learned in Mini Z carried over to 10 scale, 10 scale over to 8 scale, and then back because of what I learned with all those genres I brought it back to Mini Z, and I was allowed to drive a little bit tighter on the first race that Matt Kyle did. So I was finding my lines to be tighter. Now I'm chasing Senzo and John, and my battle continues with Jeff Benjamin. It's always me and Jeff Benjamin battling it out. always it always happens that way. If I'm not battling out with Jeff Benjamin, I'm battling it out with Laurel, Randy, and Ashley. Those are those are the people I'm always battling Mini Z with. All right, so everybody else they pretty much leave us. They leave us in the dust, or we leave them, or however it is. There's those levels, so we're in that mid level there. So it's pretty fun. So yeah, I have a lot of blast. Oh, I have a lot of fun racing with everybody. So I learn a lot from everybody. I'm always in contact with John. Always in contact with Kurt, and these two are always on there. But yeah, Ime, come check us out over here at Faster Laps. So yeah, we 10 what's it 10.7.3, 10.10.2. For what do you mean on diffs? Are you talking for the 8 scale? Those are like 8 scale numbers. Oh no, my buggy, which is right there, where you guys can barely see. My diffs are still the same from South Carolina, and I'm gonna tell you right now, South Carolina, we were up at 90-degree plus temperatures, so I was upwards around 15, 15, 10 is where I'm at, and that's where it's currently at. Zeke's is currently up there in that area because I can feel how stiff his are. His are stiffer on his buggy than mine is, and Isaiah seems to like it a lot. The suspension, I still don't know what fluids he's running. Um, yeah, I'm still not sure what he's running on there, but the vehicle responded so well to Matt Kyle's track, and Matt hasn't tended to the track, and which was perfect for me to test suspension and stuff like that. And then um, testing out the droop blocks that or the ride height with all the adjustments I had to do and stuff like that. So yeah, I said it resetting droop because my droop was off on the buggy and it was off on the truggy. Zeke's was perfect, but mine were so far off, and I was like, okay, why is it handling like this? Why do I got more scrapes on this side as opposed to this side? So yeah, droop fixed all of that, and the my buggy and my truggy react so much better now. So um yeah, so right now the truggy's running. What is the truggy running? The truggy's running 10-10-5. I think it is. I'm running 15-15-10. I want to say this is somewhere around the same area. Matt Warford's, his is completely bone stock, so he's running the stock recommendations for a EV 48 2.1 is what he still has in his. So that's going to stay like that because I don't know how this vehicle is going to react with it being the same length as a truggy, but the narrowness of a buggy. So we'll see, we'll see. And like I said, Tell didn't do no changes on his, and he just went out there and sent it, and thing drove like a dream. So yeah, yeah. I have not done carpet over at 5280. Every time I need to get up there, I end up going on a trip. So like I wanted to go to Silver State for 8 scale buggy. I was going to meet up with Gene out there, and I found out I have to go on another trip. So it's just another work trip, and this year, which is hard with me being sponsored, our work directive has changed. So I went from Army over to Air Force, and yeah, it's taking a big. It took a big left turn, then a right turn, then a U turn to a left turn, then going straight, and I haven't found that straightaway yet, and it's been rough these past couple of months because obviously for you guys that don't know, I literally just got back, and yeah, I'm still trying to catch up because I'm finding myself waking up late, 13 hours ahead of you guys, a whole day ahead of being here. And it was hard for me to do videos because the way the internet is out there. Yeah, my phone bill got ran up because of international calls, receiving, calling out. You thinking Guam being a U.S. territory of U.S., it wouldn't apply to that. Obviously not. So it sucks. Yeah, that's one thing with John. Yeah, he keeps all his cars in that neutral gray area. I wouldn't say gray area. Yeah, the gray area, the middle of where he doesn't do as much as I have done. Like John. John got his B7, and yeah, he was up there racing with me and Corey, and then surpassed me, and staying up there with Corey. It was like wow, you know. So yeah, I was driving this the other day, but yeah, he doesn't. He has his basic stuff all stock, but he doesn't have like the Avid shocks or the zero block for which is the C block, and all the custom doodads that I have on mine. Again, that's just my personal preference, but again, John has a very unique driving style. He has a very unique driving style. And it was good to drive my buggy. I drove my buggy yesterday, so it was actually pretty cool. And if you guys did not see, that's the new lead finger body on there. Gave it that whole classic look to include the 4-wheel drive too. Oh, you guys can't see the 4-wheel drive right there, so it's actually pretty cool. I like it a lot. The 4-wheel drive one, I still got to get used to that look. Pull that one down real quick. Yeah, so the 4-wheel drive, it has that whole. You can see that whole classic look, and then you see the whole wide look there. So it doesn't have it's I like it because it's different, and with the cab rear design gave it that whole classic look. I got to look at the old school 4-wheel drives from back then. um it's kind of hard to keep up with Team Associated right now because they keep on releasing everything. So you guys just saw the new release of of the 91X. So yeah, the Yokomo derived conversion, whatever it is, that the green one, the one that just came out. So yeah. But yeah, John always does that neutral setup. What are you doing right now with yours, John? Are you working on your short course truck, or are you at a dead stop until you get your stuff in? It should be very quick. Techno's closed until January 2nd. Is what we got on a team letter and stuff like that. So they're closed until January 2nd. So if you ordered all your stuff, they'll come in a little bit right after January. So, and they're going to be processing because I want to say they shut down January 19th all the way up to the 2nd. So, yeah. But yes, I need to get down to, well, I need to get up to 5280. I know Cole does buggy racing over there at his place. I've talked to John about that. He has a lot of fun out there and stuff. So yeah, I still got to make it out to Cole's. It's just time restraint and stuff like that. And I wanted to go do some stuff. Waiting on parts, so will be here next week probably. Oh, you went through Liquid RC. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the Liquid RC is open. I love Liquid RC. I love dealing with them. I get a lot of my what I get from over there. A lot of Schumacher parts I've gotten from Liquid RC. To add on top of this, if you guys go to Dialed RC on their Facebook page, they do have tickets available. I want to say, I think we're down to in that 2015 ticket range that we need to sell. All right, $20 a ticket lands you $1,800 worth of tires. That's 48 pairs of wheels and tires. All right, so you get your choice of the spoke wheels, you get your choice of dish wheel, you get your choice of colors. There's 3 different colors of wheels, so you can get white, yellow, or black. Go ahead, check them out, and you'll sample all 12 of the buggy tires and in the compounds of soft, super soft, and soft long wear. So go ahead, check them out. Dialed RC. Um, I want to say we wanted to do the raffle on Christmas Day. I think we're going to do it on New Year's. So you guys still have time. If you guys are watching, you guys want to win 48 pairs of tires, and you can enter multiple times to increase your chances. All right. But let's see. Ime, 622. What is your first name? Because I see you on here. Trying to figure out who you are. JC is John Carpenter, and I know Kurt already. So I'm trying to remember who you are. It's hard to go by the handle of what YouTube brings you guys. So got some Futaba receivers for you. 110 and oh, thank you, John. I need to buy those from you. I need to buy those from you. Just send me a DM on that and or a PM on that and yeah, send me a PM on that. Let me know what you need for those. I will definitely get those. I will definitely get those. Yeah, my brother got hooked onto Futaba. He was gonna get himself a Noble, and he ended up. I think he's looking at a Futaba 10PX right now. So, oh, Eli, dude, Eli, hey, did you pick up sponsors this year for next year? Didn't you? I could have swore I seen you get picked up sponsors. Yeah, I remember. I remember you, Eli. You're another fun person I love racing with. I'll tell you that right now. You are one of the most fun people I love. Oh no, not this year. Are you racing 8 scale? Are you racing 8 scale this year, Eli? Let me know. If you are racing 8 scale this year, let me know. And then I will probably send you a PM on that. All right. So, but let me know if you're going to race 8 scale this year. If you're racing 8 scale this year, let me know, Eli. Because yes, yes, I speak highly of you when I race with you. Oh my goodness, you're one of the favorite drivers aside John to race against. I tell you right, Eli being one of the young bucks in the game. Yeah, yeah, I remember you used to come there. Oh, so you will be racing 8 scale. All right, Eli, I'm gonna reach out to you, Eli. I'm gonna reach out to you after this video. So be on standby, please. All right. You're doing e-buggy. Perfect. Who are you racing? What chassis are you running? What chassis are you running specifically on e-buggy? let me know. You're racing techno, you're doing associated. Hope you're doing associated. I should have went associated, but I am sponsored. I shouldn't say I should have. I've always raced associated, but when I got into 8 scale, I found that techno is very durable. But then again, all the vehicles are durable. It just comes down to user preference. Um, I like the fact that all, as John and I, John found out, and then I found out later as well too, that all techno stuff is interchangeable, and I like that. I like that for all that. All right, good deal. Yeah, you should have hit up AE for You should have hit up AE for sponsorship because I know they were scouting over here in this area. They were scouting pretty big over here for AE. Yeah, golly, if I were you, link up with Rob Sturg Hill. You know who I'm talking about, Eli. Reach out to him, see what they got going on because I know he's picked up by Team Associated. So see what they got going on. See if they are still picking up. Yeah, you're one of those up and coming drivers of your age that are gonna go far in this sport. All right, not like for us old guys. We're oh boy, I tell you what, we're quick in our mind, but slow on the field. And I'm pushing that 50-year range, and you got it, Eli. I tell you that. So, but I'm gonna reach out to you after this video, after this live here. So, yeah, I'll reach out to you. It shouldn't be no problem at all. I just realized this is heavy too. I don't know. Are these if this is even stock or not? Oh, okay, yeah, it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can feel the lightness in that. Let me see. Oh yeah. All right. So yeah, this is like that 773 or whatever it is. I can feel that. That's another good thing to have as a diff checker. So let me add something to what you're saying there, Eli. So what you just said, you were thinking about sending something in, but maybe gonna wait another year. And I see that. But as you're growing, it's good to have teammates that can help you grow and help you network out if that makes any sense. All right. And then on top of that, that actually relieves a lot of the pressure of of financing or paying for products, if that makes any sense. So if you got try to step out of it because I felt the same way as well too. Going into jumping on board with techno, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've only been driving for a little bit, but they see what I do, and I always improving, and stuff like that. But I have my peers to look forward to and stuff, so which helps out a lot, whether they're sponsored or not. I've always had help from everybody, so it's always good. But um, you got races under you, and you're racing a lot of genres, and that's what a lot of these brands look for as somebody that can be that ambassador to them to yes you go to races and you're doing well because I've seen your podiums. I think I could have swore I just saw you did a podium not too long ago at the last TNR race, the turkey one, didn't you? I could have swore you were on podium with that because I saw John in that one, and I saw Maldonado in that one. And then and you guys know Maldonado. He's never raced 8 scale, and he went over there and dominated with John's 24th hand associated buggy. I think it was a 3.1 that he was driving and still did very well with this. So I can just imagine Maldonado on a newer chassis with his own very own tuning and stuff. So yeah, see, I could have. Yeah, exactly. I did see you over there on that. I saw your podium pics because I wanted to get to TNR, but I ended up. I came back. I came back that day of the race, and I would have never. I would have never um, made it to that. And I think it was the next day. I ended up going to faster laps and raced over there. So yeah. But Eli, like I said, I'll be reaching out to you. I will be reaching out to you. All right. As I reach out to everybody else, I will reach out to you, Eli. But it's good to see you. I hope you had a good Christmas, and I hope everybody has a good New Year's coming up here shortly. Because I'll tell you right now, we're going to try to do this very strong this year. And I don't know. We'll see. Eli, how long you been racing 8 scale? How long you been racing 8 scale? You've been racing 8 scale along in conjunction when we were racing carpet as well too? Now, let me know. John, please. Oh, I won't be here for the next race. I'll leave on the 7th. Dang, the race is on the 8th. Dude, I got to see how that RC28 does because I heard it's just like a reflex kiss, pretty much, with a little bit less adjustments than the kiss from reflex. So, see, Eli, Eli, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm reaching out to you. All right. I just started 8 scale racing this past August. Okay. So, no different from you because I've been doing nothing but carpet and stuff like that. And I didn't want to do 8 scale racing. I found it is like one of my biggest passions right now. So, yeah, yeah, it was heartbreaking because like I just got back from Guam and I went over to Guam and I knew they weren't racing over there and I realized how bad I was missing racing to the point where I was building a crawler, which is right here. Now I was building a crawler and it's so detailed, it's not even funny. And by the looks of this, you guys will never think this is a 93 piece body. It is a 93 piece 3D printed body done by Burt Manisala. And over at Chronix Hobbies, and I tell you what, I'm not even done with it yet. So, but I saw his, and I was like, oh, I need to keep myself busy, and I ended up building one over there. On top of me bringing my 128 scale mini Z cars out there, my reflexes, and getting them all revamped and stuff like that. So, oh, you got a truck for 110? Well, what kind of truck? Short course or stadium truck? All right, so John's gonna run 2500 kV on his. And oh, you got the T6.4. T6.4 is still a great chassis. I hear great things about the T7 with the 3 gear revamp and a couple of things that are changed and stuff like that. So, which is actually pretty cool because now with the T7 and the SE7, you can use those gearboxes on your B7 and have a 3 gear transmission for an eighth of the price of what R1 would sell theirs. And on top of R1, if you guys have not seen, R1 just came out with their new chassis. All right, R1 just came out with their new chassis. If you guys you guys haven't seen that yet, that'll probably be another force to be reckoned with. If you guys didn't see over at Cleveland, Ohio, with Avid came out strong with their prototype chassis, and you guys can actually see it. David Jor actually has it there. There are a couple posts on it here and there, uh, looking at that skeletonized chassis that they had developed. Also, they were prototyping their tires out there, so it seems like everybody's getting in the tire game. Me being with Dialed RC, I get to see what the process is of the tire design and how Gene comes up with it, and I did not realize that getting a mold processed or getting a mold built to produce tires, I did not realize how much that stuff costs. So I tell you what, I see where these guys are going, and it's hard. Just like there was another video out there that you can't. There's no scientific way of testing um, 8 scale tires. I.e., testing. Putting sensors on them and what compounds to use. It's all by touch, feel, and design and artwork. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of tires out there. Where those sevens at? You know, the sevens, they got this diamondback pattern, and then I see other companies that I got similar patterns. Um, on top of using the diamond or the arrow shape, which would be who uses the arrow shape style. Falcons. Falcons is another comparable tire, but again, everybody uses different compounds, different types of rubbers and stuff for their tires. I went into the breakdown of a lot of these tires on their innards because that's where a lot of the design is. Some tires got ribs on the sidewall, some don't. Some got ribs going down, some are cross, some are X pattern, and every single tire is different. So there's a lot of ingenuity that goes into it. with sidewall flex and pin flex, what compound to use. I didn't realize it went that deep. Which tire will disperse dirt the most? And it's like, to get a tire made, you got to see what your other tires have done and then base a design off of that. And I think that's what Dialed is doing right now. They're taking some of their number one tires and they're trying to make it better. So they got version like 7.1. I'm just saying that out there. There's no version 7.1. But if he was going to do another version of this, it'll probably be a version 7.1, an improvement over the 7 as it is now. And I'll tell you right now, the 7 is one of the most top contender tires out there for truggy. I have yet to test it out on buggy. I've been using the V1s, and the V1s are comparable to the reflexes, and then I've been using the V8s from Dialed, which are comparable to Convicts. I guess I could put it there. There's another tire on Pro Circuit I can compare it to, depending on wear and stuff like that. So again, I like the fact that Dialed RC has 12 different variants of tires, but 2 billion different types of compounds, because there is a clay compound to these tires as well too. And then the foams, I want to say there's 4 different foams or 3 different foams, and then on top of the wheel choice as well too. So, and the wheels are designed different as well too. And I already went over that with these wheels to include the Avid Trust V2 wheels. So yeah, I went over those. And so give me some old school 1.8 Proline Crime Fighters and M3. Golly, those are so old. Kurt, you're- I need Kurt. I need Kurt to come up into 8 scale. Kurt, you playing with your Kurt's been playing with his drift cars, and he was the first one to get that 240 or that 180, I should say. And he tested over at that new track. Kurt, put that down in your chat. That new drift track that's out. Um, opposite opposite something. I forgot what is I forgot what it is, but it's a very big drift track. From seeing where Kurt was standing, he had his daughter there, and he was driving. That is a very big track on Japanese tile, which is actually pretty cool. So 25K plus. Yeah, 25. Was that you talking about the tire molds, getting the tire molds done? Yeah, it's around 25K per mold. Um, it's like 20K. Yeah, it is about 20K for a mold to get done, because Jane goes over to China, and I want to say there's only like 3 tire manufacturers that actually manufacture tires over there in Asia. So yeah, I got a rental for anybody that wants to try 1.8 e-buggy. Hey, there you go, Kurt. There's your calling. I'm gonna tell you right now, that rental that John has Maldonado won with, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that buggy was junk. I'm gonna say that publicly. That buggy was junk, and John cleaned it up, revamped it all, and Mike won pretty well with it. Oh, it's like a fight club. Yeah, I kind of figured that because he only announces open days. So yeah, yeah, and you're correct, John. Yes, the mold, because I know with us over at Dialed RC, I want to see the molds are like 20K, and that was just to change a design on one of the tires. I think we were gonna delete a couple and then add new designs based off of the popular tires, and then add to it. And I didn't realize that it costs that much. Time and place, I'm in. As soon as we get a schedule from Faster Laps, because right now we're in mini Z mode, Kurt, dude, I want you to come out, drive this buggy. I know you're a Losi guy, and there's a bunch of guys out there that drive Losis as well too. Big Rich, he drives Losi. Who else drives Losi? Uh, Chad Bartlett, Rob Katnick, all those guys. Zach, they're all sponsored by TLR. So um, people like me, John, and Eli, we like driving our associated 10 scales, and then I think we're all on that techno bug right now. But techno is very, very, very durable, and it's easy for me to get parts um, and stuff like that. So yeah, again, I am very honored to be part of their team. Golly, I talked to Graham about about a while ago, and then I wasn't expecting an email, and I got the email the first night that we did mini Z racing. I think I brought it up to John as well too, and I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting that, and yeah, again, honored to be on there. Again, I'm not the fastest driver, nor am I the greatest driver. I just try to stay consistent and love the hobby, so that's how it goes. Yes, if weather plays nice, I'm gonna tell you right now, weather's been playing really nice, which was weird because last night I want to say it snowed because I looked at my cameras. I was like, wait, we had snow, and then I look outside and it's bright as can be outside. But that's why I was testing my vehicles. I put some crappy tires on. I want to make sure my buggy was still good to go. Stretch its legs a little bit, and then test this bad boy. I did not realize, John, when you get your short course truck, I'm gonna have to dumb mine down a little bit. I am running a 2200 on this. I need to dumb it down a lot because she I get it. She probably might not move fast on the dirt, but on concrete or asphalt, she hauls ass. All right, and I'll say that on here. She hauls ass. But I got a feeling because I got grip on the concrete as opposed to dirt, I'm gonna be wheel spinning a lot. So I'm gonna probably dumb it down just a tad bit, adjust my my expo, and yeah, yeah, I'm gonna adjust that a lot. And that's another thing I learned a lot from John is Expo. Expo became my best friend in 10 scale racing. I really never applied it to mini Z racing. I only did what was that? My dual rate. That's the only thing I ever adjusted was my dual rate. And then when I started playing with Expo on the mini Z, the last race, I was like, ooh, I like this now, and I was able to take tighter turns. So I think I'm gonna dumb it down on this one. Yeah. Just go to 13 turn. I don't know. Yeah, 13. Oh, 13 tooth. I think I got a 13 tooth. Let me check. Let me check real quick. If I got a 13 tooth, go in my box of Arsenal stuff here. I should have a 13 tooth. I was looking at getting another sponsorship, but I didn't want too much on my table to the point where it would have created a conflict of interest of things. But I was trying to get a battery sponsor. I won't name who they were, but I was trying. Um, I was told to reach out to him, and we've contacted back and forth, but which was actually pretty cool. I think this is a 13. I probably will put a 13 on there, John. Let's see. Probably will put a 13 on there. I got two videos going on right now, so that way I can read the comments. Let me count this one. But again, Eli, like I said, I'm gonna reach out to you. Kurt, I want you to come out and play 8 scale with us. You might find it refreshing. All right, I got a 13, John. It wasn't. Oh yes, it was. You dumb dumb. It was marked right on the back. I'm over here counting teeth. All right, I guess I will put a 13 tooth on there because she was moving super duper quick for me. All right, so I'll make sure I have this. I'll make sure I have it on standby. Um, so I want to say I don't know which one I have on here right now. I have to find out. But yeah, she does move quick. Let me pull it off. I can just slide it off. But again, I hope you guys are having a great day. Eli, you're not. Did you race yesterday, Eli, over at Moore? I think they had some races over at Moore or 5280. Somebody had races the other day. I know Cole's Hot Lap Hobbies. They got races going on right now. For I want to say it's oval, if I'm correct. I think it's an oval race today for Sunday or on road or whatever they're doing. And again, I got to get out there to Cole's. Let me pull this off real quick and find out what. All right, so this one's a 15 tooth, John. I got on here, so I think dumbing it down, 2 teeth will actually be a better performer. I'll probably go test that out later too because I need to burn off these junk tires I got. I wouldn't say junk tires because they did me well while I was at South Carolina. They worked really well for that track I was at. But I'm saying junk now because they are old. And I'll go ahead. Let me go ahead and put that on there real quick. Oh, you club raced there last night? Good deal. Did you do well? I hope you did well. Like I said, I always root you on. And I see you, Eli, racing. Does anybody in your family race, or is it just you that races? So I was just wondering if, because I know you came down. I know you're taking rides with people and stuff. So yeah, I tell you what, stadium truck, a stadium truck on. I don't know, because you guys are using slicks, and I noticed a lot of people are steering away from um, slick tire tracks now. Everybody wants to go back to where tires had tread on them, and I think Ryan Styles Harris talked about that and stuff like that, where it's going away, where it's taking a challenge out of it, I guess, as to say. So at that point, you might as well just drive carpet. But I'll tell you right now, stadium truck on dirt using knob tires and stuff like that, not slicks, was always fun. My experience with it has always been great. And then, but when it came to carpet, boy, I tell you right, you had to keep that vehicle low. It would always tip over gluing the sidewalls. It became the tuning aspect became ridiculous with stadium truck. There are a few people out there that were doing well with their stadium trucks, i.e., Russ, Zach. Um, who else was doing well? Ho- uh, yeah, Jose. No, no, wasn't no Hector. Hector was doing well with his. Nate was doing well with his, and it's just there's just a lot of tuning aspect more than what needed to be for a stadium truck. Like, it took the fun out because stadium truck's always been my favorite over buggy. Hence why I love truggy over buggy. I've driven my buggy more than I've driven my truggy. I drive better with my truggy than I do my buggy. But now I know why my buggy was driving horrible. So again, it was all in the droop and my suspension settings and blah 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 blah. And now that's all fixed and stuff now. All right, John, I put the 13 tooth on there, and yeah, put the 15 tooth back in my little thing right here. So yeah, this should be good on that. Hopefully, hopefully that should do well driving, because I tell you what, um, yeah, she was stupid fast on the roadway, and I'm like, ugh. And Isaiah will be driving this majority of the time if he feels like he wants to drive it. But Isaiah got the bug for buggy since he's driving the ZB Special here now. Oh, Art, yeah, I miss Art. I miss Art Screamer. I just saw him over at I think he went to Ohio with those guys, with the Abbott team. So, and I'm glad Art made something over there at 5280 with the carpet and stuff when he got it from us and stuff, and they're doing well with that. Um, Zeke drives farther than I do to get to that track because he lives all the way in Penrose, so he drives right by me. And I'm like, man, that's all right. I have to get out there. I know I always Zeke. I got to hang out with Zeke not right before I left to the islands when he brought this to me. So yeah, I need to get out with those guys and stuff. And if you guys haven't noticed, um, he hasn't made no announcement on this, and I'll probably say it on his behalf. But Corey will be moving out of state here shortly. So again, I want to wish him and his family safe travels. I talked to him. I think I talked to him yesterday, and I was like, Robbie, that was a long drive. It took him 3 days to get to where he needed to from here, and I'm like, ugh, ugh. I was like, it took me 2 days, and I'm just like, and that was a pain in the butt. But again, he was driving a big U-Haul truck, so again, good luck. We will miss you. I will miss you. I was always Corey's right hand man over there at the arena, and I do miss the arena. But I do and I don't because I'm home, but I find myself being bored more because I don't have a track to go drive and do things at. But I'm here more with the family, if that makes any sense. Because I'll tell you right now, I had a lot of time and dedication over at that track trying to um, bring it up to where it was at, helping Corey do that, along with all the other peers that I had, Phil and all them. And again, Scrappy, I think Scrappy reached out to me. I need to reach out to Scrappy too, because he just reached out to me. And I hope he's doing well. Scrappy's been spending a lot of time down there in Pueblo, but not that he wants to or anything. Of course, he wants to because he's got his RC car stuff, but he has family down there that he's taking care of and stuff. So, yeah. But other than that, again, there's a lot going on. Looks like drifting's hitting back up here again, pretty strong. Kurt seems to be always kicking off with the little things with that. Micro B, Mini B is a big success over there at Faster Labs with Matt Kyle over there off of Valley Street. So again, there's two Faster Lap locations. You got the one over at Ram for 8 scale racing, and then for Mini Z Racing, you have the one off of Valley Street over at Matt Kyle's shop. So it's not a big venue, but it's almost the same size track as what we had over there at the old Hobby Town before we got to the big arena one. So again, it allows for tight racing. It's tight group racing, and I like that. When I our first race racing with John, Senzo, myself, and Jeff Benjamin, boy, I tell you what, we were we were going at it. We were pushing hard on each other. And then John, I was up there in the lead, and then John caught me, Senzo caught me, I tapped out, and then I had to fix a car real quick. I had some static electricity issues. So now I had to build a grounding wire to my chassis, and yeah. And then I had to catch up, and then it was the battle between me and Jeff. So I'm always battling it out with Jeff. Love racing with Jeff, but always trying to keep up with John, and then Senzo now. So it's all good. Also, you've got a lot of new cars out there, a lot of Mini Z cars. The MRO4, for those that are getting into Mini Z racing or 128 scale, I'm going to tell you right now, the MRO4 is right there pretty much on speed with a 2500. If you can drive it really, really tight and thread through that needle, yeah, that car is very comparable to a 2500. Now, a 2500 fully tuned behind the right driver, oh, you're gonna get less. You'll be left in the dust. But comparable in the 2500 aspect as far as speed and stuff like that. Yeah, it's right there with it. So I would highly suggest getting the MRO4. I got to play with Tom and Big Rich as they brought out their Corvettes, and those things are pretty quick. And then you got the X-Ability chassis, which was brought out to the Worlds, and then I want to say uh, Brian had one over there at at the race, and then John just picked up the RC28, and I actually want to see the RC28. I know the RC28 didn't do well over at Worlds, but it should do very well for club racing. Should do very well for club racing. So. MTB, are you talking about mountain bike riding? I got my mountain bikes right over here in front of me. Actually, I got my BMXs in front of me, and I got my race BMXs. But is that what you're talking about, Eli? Mountain bike? There's a couple. There's a couple of racers that are with us that do um, mountain biking and stuff like that. If you guys know Taj, his dad races with us. Um, uh, Mark Cooper. So Taj is a sponsored mountain bike rider here in Colorado. Um, Golly, who are the there are a lot of people that do mountain bikes. Right in front of me right now, I'm looking at Eli. I have my Giant, and that is my dirt jumper, and I also have my Marin uh, Circus dirt jumper to include my race BMXs. I got two Krupies. Uh, Isaiah races one, and then I moved on to a different chassis. I'm racing the new GT BMX chassis with the box arms on there. So I race BMX, pretty much pump track racing. So that's what I do. a lot of. Before I had my surgery, I was so deep into it, and then when my doctor approved that I can go back into, boy, I was out of shape. I was finding myself needing more water. I also brought my RC cars out there with me too. But yeah, at the pump track here in Fountain, I'm always I'll bring my my dirt jumpers out there, and I'll bring my race BMXs that me and my son we pump race with. So I got some other freestyle BMXs. I got a Pander sitting over there. Got a couple kinks, couple fits. I got a very old school classic, early '90s GT. What else do I got over there? I got a battleship over there, and I got a SM over there as well too. I got a couple custom cool chassis out there. But you do BMX or is it just straight mountain biking, Eli? I should grab that frame. I need to show you this cool frame I got. Oh boy, this frame has been hiding over here. Oh, oops. I'm sorry if you guys are hearing all that mess and racket right now. I'm not even looking at the screen. I'm trying to pull my frame off of the. Oh my goodness. Yep. What frame is this? This is. God, I'm trying to remember what frame this is. Oh no, Eli. Yeah, these are some of the stuff I do. The BMX frame. This is a raw finish with a pearl red and then a candy red finish on the neck. So this is, oh, it's right here. This is a BSD frame. So I have not put that. I bought this frame to do something with it, and I haven't. I haven't done anything with this frame in like 2 years. So yeah, cross country mountain bike. Oh my goodness. That's a BSD frame. I want you to, yeah, BSD frame. So yeah, I like doing my BMX stuff as well too. And I was so deep into building BMX bikes, I would buy trashed out bikes and redo them and stuff, and then get rid of them, sell them. But there's some that I truly keep. And usually I use my BMXs when I go to, or even bring my dirt jumpers out when I got car shows and stuff. Cause I get tired of walking everywhere, so I just ride my bike. All right. Anything else? RC. Golly, I do miss racing the Euro trucks. And that, like I said, there was not really no racing in Guam where I was at. And I was there from the beginning of the month all the way up until close to Christmas. And I tell you right now, like I said, it was very boring. So being from that island as well, it was good to see family, but at the same time, it was the weather. I think was it sucked, but I want to say the conditions. The conditions is what, and then yeah. No, I have not talked to Cole. I don't know. He has nothing done from the downstar portion yet of the truck. I think everybody's waiting on that, but he's trying to figure out how he's going to set it up via having a driver stand because the ceiling height is so low. John, you've seen it, um, how low the ceiling height is on there. So I don't know how I'm not even sure of the square footage down there or what needs to be moved to to have the biggest possible track. So I am not sure, which is kind of hard because walking up and down stairs, a lot of people that do off-road racing don't have the knees to walk down up and down stairs all the time. So I'm not sure if there's really any pinning area down there or not. I'm not sure. So you got the new Pro Line carpet tires. I'm still on those JCs on the carpet tires. Oh, so nothing is done. So nothing is done downstairs. And John, you said the ceiling height was super low downstairs, correct? So yeah, I don't know. I got to get down there. Like I said, I keep on saying that. I need to get down there to Cole's. People were asking about purchasing mini Z's and stuff like that. Cole's does have mini Z's if you guys are looking. So the MRO4s. If not, go look at Mark Santa Maria because he's very close by. He's just right in Texas. He can get you shipping very quick. He probably has the biggest supply of mini Z, Kyosho mini Z's, and parts available. So he pretty much has everything. But again, his shipping is very quick. Yeah, I'm not sure. My mini Z's, I got two of my mini Z's that I brought back from Guam that I worked on. I need to put them back in my bag and stuff. So, which is pretty crazy because I tell you right now, going through customs with RC cars kind of sucks. I'll tell you that right now. Boy, they question everything electronic wise. And if you guys know already, drones is like the number one enemy in the RC industry right now. I'm talking the when I speaking of drones, I'm talking DJI. They are like the number one enemy of the federal industry, the federal area of things right now, to where you can't even. It's hard to get them now because you got some drones that are. There's some drones that I seen in Guam. There was a loophole over there. I was talking to Bert, the owner of Chronix Hobbies, and he has one of the biggest DJI inventories I've ever seen. I've seen his stuff, and I was just like, whoa. And he's got drones I've never seen before from DJI. And I'm like, how come these aren't over in the US? I know, Robbie, right? And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I've never seen those. Or I see them on videos, but never seen them for sale on shelves because you'll see like the Mavics, you'll see the 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll see some of the the lights and stuff like that. But there are some drones, I've never seen before that DJI has, and now they're like number one enemy to the US now, which is crazy. There will be rent pots down there. Yeah, ceiling height is low. There's exposed pipes. Oh, I haven't heard much on the batteries. I think it's more the well from what I heard, being over there overseas, um, it was more of the soft pack batteries as opposed to the hard case batteries. So there's been a lot of speculation on that. I think everything's probably going to go to hard case instead of having a soft pack battery. And I wish I had. I don't know what I do with my soft pack batteries. I'm gonna see if I have any because I pretty much nope. Yeah, all I got is hard case batteries. I don't have any soft pack batteries, but yeah, there. Oh no, yes I do. Got one right here. I got a soft pack battery right here. I think that's what they're trying to get away from is the soft packs, and they're trying to go. Um, yeah, they're trying to go hard case on the batteries now. I think that's one of the biggest things right now. So, but yeah, batteries and motors. Motors, I think it's because of what is it? Is it because of the resin that they're using to hold the windings in or something like I forgot. Man, there's so many regulations now. It's getting out of hand with the RC world now where prices, I hate to say it, it's probably going to fluctuate, not for the good of us. So again, I'm not, yeah, I know a lot of the things were dealt with the hard case. And then there's been an influx. Uh, talking with some of the guys overseas, there have been a big, huge, huge influx of battery returns or battery fires. And that's not so much to being misused or whatnot. That's just the swelling of the batteries. It's just the puffy. That's just like a big thing right now. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, batteries and motors will be insane because pretty much everything's imported. Thunder Tiger owns Team Associated, so yeah, yeah. So that's yeah, it's an import ban for now. No more lipo batteries or brushless motors. So yeah, well, I guess you better stock up now. That explains why some of the battery prices went up. I'm not sure on the brushless motors. Um, I'm not sure on the brushless motors. I have to look into that. As far, I think it's something to do with the windings or whatever, or I don't know. It could be anything. Yeah, you need a place an order for batteries. Yeah, might as well do that. I know there's a couple of companies that are out there that have been posting their batteries. Stock up on them now, and that was the key word. Stock up on them now. Um, I probably need to get more 8 scale batteries more than anything. So again, I was hoping for a a big push from a battery company to get uh, jump on board with them, but it you know it is what it is. I always get next year, so not worried about it. Price wise, I am. You know, I'll tell you right now, 7500 series batteries for Gens Ace is in that 155 dollar range, as opposed to the 6300s or 135, 145 ish, 140 ish, I want to say, and then the 6000s are in that, I think, that 120, 130 range. So yes, fuel is hard to get unless you're getting it from TNR or whatever. Because I know fuel had gone up over. I know in Guam, where I was just at, people that do nitro and stuff, they're spending close to $100 on a gallon of fuel. I'm going to tell you that right now. And that's one thing I hated about Guam, was because the economy is worse than here as far as in the inflation and the price of things. Because was it a dozen of eggs is around $14 over there, as opposed to being over here in Colorado. I can get 60 eggs for $9. That makes any sense? Gas over here is below $2. Gas over there is way over $5, and but the economy, they have not raised the minimum wage for economy over there. It's 9.25 an hour, and dude, you got to have like 2 to 3 jobs just to survive over there. Rent is like a 2 bedroom apartment is close to $4,000. You know, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let's see, $15 for a nice turbo plug. Nitro, I don't know. I got my nitro here. I have not driven it yet. Yeah, fuel is up there. Fuel is up there. I need to dedicate like a whole week's practice to nitro, and then the thing with nitro is it becomes a 2 3 man team. So you know that becomes hard too. That's why I stick to electric stuff. You know, 10 minute mains, 8 minute qualifiers. I'm happy with that. Yeah. All right. Other than that, John, did you order your body? Again, this is how the body is. And no, I did not get the cage for it. Um, uh, I did stiffen it up because it was a lot more flimsier than this. But I definitely went all crazy inside with the mesh tape and then E6000. I went ham on it. I went super ham. Um, I got the bodies when they were on sale for like $42. I think they're back up at their $59 range. But yeah, definitely stepping up the body a lot, and then putting it on the short course. And then I had to build because the short course bumpers, when you get them, um, the body doesn't come up to the bumper. The body hangs over the bumper. So I had to build bumper extensions on this via using MDF foam. So it should work really well and stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Should put this body back on. But I love, this is the Ford Proline body. So I would put a lead finger body on here, but Mr. Chris doesn't make one for SCT 48 or the non-existent truck, because the only true scale of a manufacturer that makes the truck or of that scale is the Mojave 4S, and the closest next thing would be the Max Slash. And that would be a good platform, Kurt, if you wanted to get into short course racing, is using the Max Slash racing against these bad boys here. The Max Slash has a little bit wider platform, so it's probably a little bit more stable, but it's pretty much the same size as this. So, because I had a Max Slash, and not too long ago, did I get rid of it? And yeah, my homeboy Ern picked it up. Gave him everything. I gave him a great deal on that. I even gave him a charger and battery for that. There's a Hobel body. There's a what? I didn't. I thought they quit making bodies. What? Where'd you find the Hobel body at? I need to see that design. I need to see that design. Don't get me wrong. I like this Proline design. I do like this Proline design, but I like to see the Hobel body. I didn't. I wasn't too. The Mojave 4S body is very nice, but I wasn't spending $69 to get a unpainted body. I think the painted body was over $89. Um, but I couldn't pass up the deal for Proline. It was $42, $43 at the time. So that's why I jumped on it. I ended up getting two. So this one is Isaiah's. That's his. And mine is the pink and yellow. So when he's not driving and I feel like I want to drive, I'll drive. I'll put my body on. But yep, that's pretty much it right there. All in its fashion. The blue looks nice on there too. So put that over here. I am done with the short course and stuff. And then on to Isaiah's. I need to check his out. I'm going to go through his truggy. He drove his truggy. He's like, Dad, this is good. Because I had to reset his droop, and then I redid all the shock fluids. And I need to check his bearings. Because I'll tell you right now, Techno is notorious for slop. I think I have one called a Samurai or something. Corrali Shiroi. I have to look that up. Corrali. Uh-oh. Here come my doggies. Let's see. I have to look at the Corrali body too. There's a kid that was racing. There's a kid that was racing a Corrali buggy over there in South Carolina with us. I think he upgraded. I think his name was. What his name was? Kirk. I think his name was. Jake. I forgot. I forgot what it was. Definitely reinforce Isaiah's body. This is a lead finger body. If you guys are interested, go ahead, check them out. Leadfingerrc.com. They got some awesome bodies. Chris Schaefer, very quick on his shipping and stuff like that. The ingenuity and design that he has on this is very nice, where the spoilers incorporated in the back rather than just having a regular dip, but the spoilers incorporated in the back, and that's actually pretty cool. So it directs the airflow up towards the spoiler below and above it, which is actually pretty cool. I like that. So let me go through Isaiah's real quick. This was the Tom Prindle special, and I find myself on my other ones, I was replacing the bearings a lot, but I just put new bearings on Isaiah's. I just want to make sure all his standoffs are good, because I tell you what, things do back off, and I did get out of a race. I think my last 8 scale race that I did here at Faster Laps, I lost the wheel, and then I broke an A-arm. Then I got back in the race, and that was it. So, yeah, just double checking everything, going through everything, and then making sure we are G to G, especially the shock standoffs on on these trucks, especially the buggies. You'll definitely have to go down. But yeah, I'll check into Corrali. I'll take a look at Hobao as well too. So see what bodies they got. Granted, I already got 2 bodies already. I don't need any more bodies, because you guys can see all the Lexan bodies I got all around me. So, yep. Well, we should be good on this. Isaiah, this looks like this is very clean. There's nothing loose on there. I took John's advice, raised up the steering linkage on this off the arm, so that's got no play on it. I don't think I need to redo any of his shock fluids, but I'll tell you what, the balloons are holding up very well. That's what I got on here, the balloons. If you guys see that blue, I did a video on those using balloons for shock boots. And then not to mention, when I did that, Techno came out with their new thin line shock shaft protectors, or shock protectors, I should say. And they just came out with their thin ones instead of using the conical triangle ones. They just came out with super thin ones, which is actually pretty cool. Probably will change up Isaiah's battery plug configuration. What motor is he using on this? What motor is this? Oh, he's running a 2200 as well too. Oh, yep, he's running a 2200. Yeah, other than that, his truckie's clean. Probably just got to blow it off real quick. There's still some, because we were just driving this week, and if you guys, hey Kurt, I'll tell you what, Kirk, I'm over here looking at the computer. John and I are gonna go. We're gonna go out testing as soon as John gets his short course stuff in. We're gonna be testing out there at Faster Laps. So I will get a hold of you, and then we'll schedule all of us together so you can get out there and try your hands at a buggy. All right, I'll let you drive one of the buggies, or I'll let you drive the truggy as well too. See what your feel is for it, what you may like. I got a feeling you're gonna love the truggy. I think you'll like the buggy too, but the buggy requires a lot. I want to say the truggy is way easier and more forgiving to drive. You can have a bad setup on it, and it still will drive. Now you got something a little minute on the buggy. Oh man, I'll tell you right now, it can be your worst nightmare because one little thing can throw you off big time on the buggy. So yeah, definitely we'll shoot you a message when we go out there because John and I were just talking that we were going to go test vehicles out there because I wanted to test the buggy since I revamped it. And then I need to test out a set of tires because I already tested the V1s. Isaiah tested the V2s, and I want to test the V8s. So I was going to say the V8s for Hawaii because I leave for Hawaii on the 8th, and Hawaii has a brand new 8 scale track out there, which is almost, and it's red dirt as well too, just like South Carolina and Georgia. So it should not be that much more different. Granted, they're both close. Both tracks are close to the coast. Literally, the track over in Hawaii sits right almost on the beachfront, almost. But we'll see how much sand gets pushed on there because that's another factor I got to play with. Is sandy, loamy conditions over there in Hawaii. I'll get with David Backer. Yeah, he's another fun person I like driving with, especially racing touring cars and stuff like that. He's another person I like driving with, and he's sponsored by Kyosho in the 8 scale world, and he travels all around Asia and stuff like that, doing that Philippine Masters, the Malaysia races, all those races. He'd be hitting those things up hard. So I was trying to see if there was going to be any in Japan or Okinawa, but I guess I don't know. Yeah, that wheelbase. I say great. Yeah, it's the wheelbase and the width that make it that much more. The only problem with the truggy, when I tell people that are getting into truggy as opposed to the buggy, it costs a little bit more, and that's only because of the wheels and tires, and because the motors are still pretty much the same price. The parts are still the same price because the A arms for a truggy are the same price as the A arms or the arms for the buggy. The shock towers are still the same price. The wing mounts, everything else is still the same price. The chassis, I want to say there's only about probably about a $10 difference between the two. That's about it. But other than that, it's the wheels and tires on the truggy that cost more than the buggy. But my opinion, I don't know, John. I don't know. I don't know if John can. I don't know if he has any feedback on this, but I think the truggy tires last longer than the buggy tires. My opinion, my honest opinion. I think they last longer on the truggy than as opposed to the buggy. Now, I don't know if it's because I drive the buggy more than the truggy, but if I put on a brand new fresh set of tires for the day for both platforms, um, you could substantially see the wear and tear on my buggy tires as opposed to my truggy. But yes, the wheelbase is and the width is the best equalizer. Again, you can have a bad suspension tune on this and it'll still be very drivable, as opposed to you can be one link off on adjusting that or whatever, and it throws your vehicle wonkers in the turns and this. You know, you can correct things while driving with the truggy, and that's what I like about the truggy. You can correct as you drive, as opposed to the buggy. And I've seen people while they're adjusting, they're hitting knobs and switches on their thing, and you know, yeah, you can, like I said, you can go in there with the truggy on a bad setup and still be drivable. So, what MST MX RMX do I have? I got one, two, three, four. I got five of those things because I got my 2.0 up there. You can see the box right there, and I got a 2.5, and obviously the Yokomo. The Yokomo's upstairs. But that's still in the box upstairs. My bodies. I'm working on a body right now. Let me bring this one out, Kurt. You're gonna like this drift body. I got one, two, three. I got like a bunch of drift bodies. Katie has a awesome drift body. Isaiah has his drift body. Let me pull up my drift body here. Oh yes, this is the one I'm working on. Sorry for all the noise. Yeah, I'm working on this one because I painted this one a long time ago, and this one is my S15. So this one has the metal mount, spoiler mounts, and then obviously that JDM style angled license plate. Yeah, and this one is a multi-piece body setup for that. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, two runs. LRC is a very aggressive track. It's a very, I want to say it's a very blue track, isn't it, John? Yeah, this one, if you can see, I got the metal brackets on there. These are all my wide body pieces on here are all they're all separate. They're all separate pieces, like the rear bumper, all that stuff is all super separate. My front bumper, I got different variations of the front bumper and stuff I can choose and stuff. I still got to put my lights on there. Probably, I love the color. Probably take off the stickers, but yeah, I got to clean this one up. But yeah, this is the origin style right here. I like this, the S15. This will be going on the Yokomo. So yeah, that'll be the Yokomo body for that one. I'll leave you right there because usually that's on display. I got my other body. Where's my other body at? I got another body over here. Let's see, that's the Corvette. I got Katie's S14. I got my girl's drift car because she likes her drift cars too. It's because if they're easier and they're quieter, they don't make all that funky mess and noise. This one has the adjustable offset wheels on them, which are actually pretty cool. She didn't want the spoiler on hers, but yeah, she has that root beer brown color, that pinkish root beer color. But yeah, hers is very basic on hers and stuff. So yeah, they're very, there we go. But yep, this one is hers for her drift car, that is. So yeah, adjustable on the wheel, the wheels. They're those two-piece whatever wheels that you can adjust your offsets on, which are pretty cool. Yeah, this one's hers. So yeah, I need to bring these out and stuff. Put this one back away. Has so many RC cars all over the place. All you guys see is what's behind me when I do videos. But the funny thing is you don't see all the other other stuff in front of me and stuff. And yeah, let me put the rock crawler back up on the case here. Oh, Kurt, did you see that I don't know, John, if you saw my post, Kurt commented on it and then David Jackman commented on it. Did you see that loft bag, that carry bag that turns into a table at the haul? So the guy, it was designed for overlanding. The guy that designed it and stuff, and then another person brought it out for paintball, or he brought it out for paintball because you could store paintball stuff. And I was like, that'd be pretty cool for those that are traveling and do like 10 scale, because I don't think you could fit an 8 scale up in there. That'd be too small of a work area. Well, you don't need that big of a work area, but I think the price, I want to say it was like $650 for that thing. But yeah, it was yeah, it's called the Loft, and $650. And then I think David commented on there. He was like $650 question mark. I'm like, yeah, but the 9800 sled goes for $329 brand new if you get a newer model one. So an extra $230, I guess, gets you the table and the hard piece. But I'm trying to figure out how much more weight does that add, because you got to figure for the legs and stuff like that. That's all metal construction, and it holds, I want to say, what do you say, 100 plus pounds or whatever. It held its weight. but you got to figure that into the weight of your baggage if you're traveling, because you get charged extra if your bag is over 50 pounds, unless you're military. So it will work great for Kurt if we were to travel out somewhere. But um, yeah, it's just yeah, it would be a great bag. But I want to say probably that bag's already starting off at 20 pounds already. So then you got 30 pounds to play with, and then throwing an 8 scale up in there with parts and equipment and stuff like that. Boy, that adds up really quick. And then you want to add rags or clothes or whatever. Yeah, it just it comes to that point where yeah, it kind of gets too heavy. So, but it is a cool concept. It is a very cool concept. Um, I don't know, even for the paintballer in mind, because like when I did paintball and stuff, when I have my HK Army bag, it converts to a backpack, but and then it extends. But at the end of the day, you're carrying your tanks, you're carrying your guns, or your markers, I should say. It just things add up, and then majority of your weight is where the bag is. So I got a feeling with that bag, it's the weight is already the weight of this. So that's already it's already that plus the battery. It's a heavy bag already, unless they use composite stuff or whatever. Then again, now you got to worry about the airline breaking your bag, and your if your arm collapse, if it folds down and they're throwing the bag inside the airplane. Yeah, that just creates a whole mess of things. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's just like the folding table for the CRV. That's like the number one cool feature for the CRV when it came out. But it looks like Isaiah is clean. Well, he's not clean. I got to clean his buggy, but it looks like everything on his is good. His bearings are good. That's one thing in nitro I learned from John. Boy, you drive nitro, clutch bearings, you gotta stock up on clutch bearings. You're replacing them a lot. And I found out that I'm replacing my center drive bearings on here on the e-buggies or e-truggies on here, and then my outer hub bearings, inner and outer, I'm always constantly replacing. So not so much where the diffs are, it's the hub areas and the center where the bearings get most replaced on these vehicles. So and then bent shock shafts. That's another thing too. Bent shock shaft is another thing. So, but yeah, Isaiah's is a very this is G to G. His is good to go. Let me find my 2.0 here. And then I got to repack up for Hawaii. So this time I'll be bringing my 8 scale buggy, and I did a video on how to travel. I'll probably do another video because things have changed over at the airport and stuff when you're traveling with your stuff now. So yeah, there's extra precautions you got to take because now um, TSA has yeah they loosened up on some things but tightened up on some other things, if that makes any sense. So if there's a give, there has to be there's a catch 21, if that makes any sense. So again, when I travel with my RC stuff, and every trip I go to or I'm on, I do bring RC stuff with me. So every trip has been different. But I'm not bringing my truggy to Hawaii. I'll be bringing my buggy, and I'll bring my TC8 with me because they do on road out there. And the crazy thing with on road out there, they race outside of the stadium, the Aloha Stadium, and when they race no matter what the weather is. They waterproof their electronics, and they put on some wet tires, and just like a real race, they'll be racing in the rain. So I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. And being in Hawaii or going to Hawaii, just like Guam, it rains every single day over there. So yeah, that was another. Yeah, I was cleaning up my whole area. It doesn't look like I've been cleaning up my whole entire area, but I started going through some of my stuff because I got a bunch of Funko Pops and some collector stuff. And I was like, oh, let me check the prices on this. Let me check the prices on that. And some of that stuff went up in value. Some of it dropped in value. So I'm always, remember, right, boys? Always complain about the red clay. Yep, the red clay, red clay, red clay. And it's just no different from being on the East Coast. Everything's red over there. You were white, you're done. John John's car will turn to like a dingy white car body at the end of the day. And John likes to run nothing but white. So yeah. Yes, they have a red clay track. Matter of fact, I will get the picture for you. I will post it up here after this thing because yeah, that'll be my next thing. It is a brand new track. So the old track that they had was over near the dirt oval track for the real cars and the drag strip, which was down in Eva Beach area, and they brought it closer to, I want to say closer to the airport where the airport is in Hawaii, and you got a beautiful view of the beach and stuff like that. And it's right there. The racetrack is right there. What David told me is, got to get in contact with the guy first before I head out there because of the homeless people. Hawaii, I hate to say, is just like San Diego or California. The homelessness out there is ridiculous. It is bad. It is very very bad. Not so much in the tourist areas. It's when you go farther inland. So when you're in Mililani, Wahiwa areas, Kailua areas, those areas, it's just I meant not Kailua, Waipahu areas. The homelessness is very, very bad over there. So I didn't see too much of it over there in Guam, which was surprising. But then again, everybody's related in Guam, so people are always going to be taken care of. You get those onesies, twosies that don't want to be taken care of, and they just live off the land or they live off whatever over there. So my coworker that I went with over there, he like me, I spent majority of my time dealing with RC stuff over at Chronix Hobbies. He went almost every other day hunting, and he went hog hunting and he went deer hunting out there. So after work and stuff. So out there in the jungle, he's never been out in the jungle. And you don't wear boots, cowboy boots, Ariots, or whatever. Justin's out there in the jungle. He found out the hard way. You gotta wear some hiking boots. He brought out some cowboy boots with some slick bottoms. Boy, yep. You know, remember that place is tropical and it's wet over there. But yes, just like Guam has their red dirt as well too, and it's more of a coral based clay caliche style. So think of Fort Hood, Kurt, and Hawaii. They're dirt, and that's what you get over in Guam and stuff. But Hawaii is going to be all red dirt and clay out there. It's going to be, yeah, because Kurt told me how bad it was out there. Yep, red dirt clay. So other than that, that's pretty much it for our live today. Um, I will be posting another video here this week, right before New Year's. Do a couple posts. I'm gonna reach out to you, Eli, real quick, and then Kurt, I'm gonna stay in touch with you because John and I are planning to go do some practice runs out there at the track. So I hope you guys join us. You know, we try to get as much practice. And I know Kurt's always driving something RC, whether it be in his house or in his front yard. So what better to get Kurt out at the track? So that'll be cool to get Kurt out the track. So he could quit buying drift cars and buying more drift stuff. Maybe he could jump onto you know, a short course 10 scale maybe, or even because they race short course 10 scale out there at the track. And the cool thing is you can race that short course 10 scale over at 5280 or even over at more as well too. So that would be a good concept because I know the chambers do that as well too. They got vehicles where they can drive in multiple locations, not just over at uh, faster laps. As opposed to getting an 8 scale buggy, I do highly recommend either get a buggy or a truggy. You can still drive up to LRC race up there, or race here. I want to say coming up. I want to say he probably might race twice a month, or he's still going to keep it at once a month, which is pretty cool because it allows you time to recoup and stuff. On top of that, but for those sponsored drivers, some of the requirements that they want you to race at least 3 times out of the month, not just club racing, like a lot of regional racing, a lot of the big races, i.e., Wicked Weekend, Silver State, TNR, um, Sick, Georgia Peach Classic, Fall Brawl, all those races. They want you to be out there at those. So especially Techno. Techno wants you to be out there at those, and you got to do AERs. All right, so it's almost like a PowerPoint. Kurt, you know this. John, you've been sponsored before. Yeah, you got to do little AERs after each race and stuff. They give you a timeline to do it. They give you a there's all kinds of crazy stuff. But again, it's good having you guys on here. Kurt, John, Eli. Thank you guys very, very much. Kurt, I'm gonna touch bases with you later because I got something for you. But Eli, I'm gonna reach out to you after this video. Stay tuned. And yeah, I'm gonna post some more pictures and stuff, what's going on and what's gonna happen. There's already schedules out there. Again, I'm making trophies. Oh, what did I do with it? Oh man. I'm making trophies for Extreme RC Raceway right now. I got a rough draft here. Let me see if I even have it here. I don't know what I did. Oh, here we go. It's down here. So it doesn't look right on paper right now, but it has to be transferred over to metal. So they're planning on doing a Friday nights under the lights series for only nitro vehicles, so nitro buggy and truggy. But this is what it looks like. Obviously, it's reversed because it's got to get printed, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't wait. I did a test run on a metal one yesterday, and it came out awesome. Presented that, and we'll see how that goes. So if you're ever in South Carolina and you want to do some 8 scale racing, right there in the Charleston area, you got Sumter, you have Monk's Corner, and you got Extreme RC Raceway. All tracks cater to 8 scale and 10 scale, to include Extreme and Sumter doing oval. They actually got true oval bank tracks out there. Well, Sumter has a flat oval, and Extreme has a banked dirt oval track, which is actually pretty cool. I think I just saw the walls being built on it. So yeah. All right, you guys take care. Just like John said, we'll see you over at Faster Laps on Thursday and hopefully out at the 8 scale track sometime this week. So Kurt, stand by for that. Don't forget Faster Laps, Mini Z Racing, January 8th. Practice the day before, January 7th, and Micro B and Mini B is a thing. All right, so stay tuned for more info on that. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Do, 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 do. Ah, let me get this off. How do I stop the video? Okay.